This is Rare from the Runner Table coming at you with week 7. 7 weeks of Major League Baseball observations from this 2024 season. We'll start here with San Francisco. I know that Lee is injured, but why is Slater batting leadoff and playing center field? I have an outrageous idea. Put Lamonte Wade Jr. in center field. What was his natural position? Well, it's center field. You call up Ramos and some of the other young guys, they should be playing center field. I do like Yastrzemski leading off. I do like Estrada leading off some days. Lamonte Wade still batting second, but him third and fourth doesn't make sense. He's not a power hitter. Or Bailey batting third, or Fitzgerald as an infielder playing the outfield with there's injuries in the outfield. At least Blake Sable caught. Because here's what you do. If you play Lamonte Wade Jr. center field, Wilmer Flores or Blake Sable can play first base. That's fine. Red. TJ Friedel and Cruz 1 and 2, or India batting leadoff, or Benson leading off. Like, those make a lot of sense. Or even Fraley batting second. Steer playing first base or batting third or fourth makes sense. Him playing second base and the outfield or batting second does not make sense. Having Jonathan India bat last is kind of a waste. He's a top-of-the-order hitter. And Tyler Stevenson, he's a good catcher, but he's not a great offensive catcher that'll bat him cleanup. And then this Capel dude is doing what Martini did. DHing when you could DH Steer, so he's not in the outfield. But at least Capel played left field one game, but they used an opener last night. Mariners. I've been okay with Rojas and Julio Rodriguez leading off. What I haven't had a problem is Rojas the other week playing left field. This week he's playing second base, so at least he's in the infield. Dylan Moore with the injury to J.P. Crawford, he's been playing exclusively shortstop, which I like. Haggerty's been called up, but again, he's a second baseman. Stop playing in the outfield, and Austin Voth is a starting pitcher. Mariners, if they don't have a healthy rotation, they should start him. If they do, it's fine. The eighth, Adrian Arturo again. He's the third baseman by trade. Stop playing him at second base. He's also not a leadoff hitter, number 2 hitter. JJ Bleday is a backup outfielder, not a middle-of-the-lineup hitter. So when he does play, second is fine. Same thing with Tyler Nevin. He's a third baseman, not an outfielder. He's not a middle-of-the-line. He's not a number 2 hitter. But I do like that he has played some infield as well and has batted 5th or 6th. Geloff, I'm glad he's back, but 2 spot is where he's got the money. He doesn't give you much as a 6 hitter because that's an RBI power spot. And Brent Rooker is a power hitter. He should be in the middle lineup, not second. Padres, the whole Cronenworth still playing first base when he doesn't give you much the same offensive value that most first basemen give you, and also having him bat third. And then Profar batting 3 through 5 when he's on a power hitter is a waste. And Bogarts, I'm glad that he's no longer the leadoff spot, but that's where he should be with Machado in the middle of the lineup. And again, he's not second baseman. Arise, again, I don't want to see him at first base either. Dodgers, Mookie Betts, the whole leading off playing the infield. Again, your best asset's going to get hurt playing middle infield and leading off every day. Ohtani batting second when he's perfect to be the 3 spot. And Will Smith is a good offensive catcher, way better than I mentioned with Tyler Stevenson, but he's not a cleanup hitter. Freddie Freeman's a cleanup hitter. That's what his bread and butter is. If Ohtani was third, I think the Dodgers can handle Gavin Lux or Outman second. But again, I see an outfield for the Dodgers where Kiki Hernandez or Chris Taylor's playing left field. And they're having 2 young guys like Pajes and Outman in the outfield. I'm like, that's not a scary outfield because of a rookie and a sophomore who both aren't the slugger. And then 2 utility infielders playing the outfield. That's where I'm having the issue with Mookie in the infield. It's not like the outfield's amazing. Angels, Mike Trout's hurt. Anthony Rendon's hurt, and the guy you got, Miguel Sano, this offseason, are all hurt. So what would you think would be the middle of the lineup? Let me think about it. Taylor Ward? Yep. Brandon Drury? Yeah. Who else? Shawnell, this supposed amazing talent who skipped most of the minor leagues to play last year towards the end of the season. What I'm thinking to myself, why is he batting leadoff? You need a middle lineup. Nico Goodrum is a super utility man, not a middle lineup hitter. I love Kevin Pillar, but at this point, he's a great defensive backup outfielder, not a cleanup hitter. And then again, they got Tucker on the lineup. But again, not an outfielder. Stop playing in the outfield. And Tight, we've been over this. He's a natural-born third baseman, first baseman, not even a catcher. He's played a lot of outfield. Royals. Okay, Mikhail Garcia is a good offensive player, but he's not a leadoff hitter. MJ Melendez playing the outfield. When he's a catcher, he's bad defensively. Garrett Hampson, an infielder. Like Adam Frazier, stop playing him in the outfield. I do like that Adam Frazier batted leadoff one day and played third base. I like that Velasquez actually played outfield one day instead of just DHing. Rockies. Charlie Blackmon, they put him back at the top of the lineup after a week of him being somewhere in the middle, like 5th or 6th. Tovar, 2 spots, cool. Diaz is, again, pretty good offensive catcher, but he's not a cleanup hitter on this team. Bouchard's not an outfielder. Rogers not a power hitter, so why is he batting 5th? And then Peter Lambert, they sent him back to bullpen. What are you doing? He's one of the only guys who I know who has pretty good talent, because both Lambert brothers have talent. They just haven't been healthy or putting it together. Texas Rangers, the whole Simeon Seager 1 and 2. I always felt like if Seager was batting 3rd, and you batted Garcia cleanup, and then you went Lau 5th, and then Jonah Heim 6th, that made your lineup a little bit better than it is right now. And Jankowski is a 4th outfielder, known for his defense. Why is he DHing? Brewers, Tereng leading off is nice. Willie Adames batted second once, but again, he's not a cleanup hitter, and Contreras is not a 2-hitter. Contreras and Rhys Hoskins are supposed to protect Yelich in the lineup, and then Bowers too, but then Bowers is not playing the outfield. He's not an outfielder. Why are you playing the outfield, and then one day you're playing Owen Miller at first base when he's a middle infielder, utility guy? It's just silly. Cardinals, Goldschmidt batting 3rd again, that's good. Herrera's batting 5th. He's a backup catcher. I don't think he should be that high in the lineup. Brandon Donovan playing the outfield again. He has no other choice, like Burleson. There's not enough room in the infield, but he did play infield one day. Carpenter leading off. I don't really like that, but I do like they tried Mason Wynn the leadoff spot. Miami. De La Cruz in the 2 spot instead of in the middle lineup. I like that. Jazz Chisholm again. He's not a middle lineup hitter, but I do like that he's batting leadoff more with the Rise traded. But again, not a center fielder. Seen him make some bad plays recently. And then Nick Gordon's not an outfielder either. Philly. Tyler Schwarber leading off. But I do like him DHing because, again, he should be 5th or 6th. JT Realmuto, why did you take him out of the 4th spot? He's a catcher. I'm not saying that he's like Marty Maldonado slow, but there's no point of him too. And then I'm still not over Harper playing first base when he could be the left fielder if he really wanted to. I did like that Whit Merrifield batted leadoff once, but now 5th. Bohm again. He was fine in the 5th or 6th spot. Why is he batting 2nd? Because then he gets stopped batting 3 through 5th, and I know he's a good offensive player, but he's not a power hitter. Clemens is not an outfielder. Whit Merrifield's not an outfielder. Clemens, is not a first baseman. Whit Merrifield's not an outfielder. And then one day, Nick Castellanos batted 2nd. I'm like, dude, why are you taking all your middle lineup hitters out? And then currently Spencer Turnbull's now pitching in the bullpen. Atlanta. I'm okay with Acuna leading off if the lineup's great, but Michael Harris is your 7-hitter, then the rest is you know? And again, great that he's playing right field because that's what I was suggesting when he first came up. Mets. I don't like Marte 2nd, but he did bat 6th. There's no offensive value of batting Jeff McNeil 6th or Pete Alonso 2nd. It should be Pete Alonso, JD Martinez, and Lindor as your 3 through 5. That would be incredible. Okay, Lindor did at least bat 3rd a few times this week. And then Adrian Hauser, I guess he's been bumped to the bullpen, even though he's a starter. Boston. Refsnyder batting 2nd. I'm okay with that, but 3rd, no, he's not DH, he's not an outfielder, he's an infielder. Okay, I do like O'Neill and Devers mostly batting 3rd or 4th. Stop putting them 2nd. Grisham again. Hasn't proven anything offensively to be a 6th hitter. And Durant, I like him at the top of the lineup, not 8th. Romy Gonzalez is a super utility player, not a first baseman, and they lost the ditch maneuvering. Why have Garrett Cooper and Dominic Smith if you're going to play Romy Gonzalez at first base? And then the National. I like, if it's Young, CJ, whatever, one of them at the top of the lineup, or Garcia, 2-spot, cool, but Garcia's not a middle lineup hitter. Ildemar Vargas, super utility infielder. Not an outfielder, not a third, not a middle lineup hitter. And I don't really think like Hebert, Ruiz DHing because they have Gallo and Winker and Rosario. They got enough, and Senzel, they got enough guys to DH. And again, when the White Sox played the National and Romy Gonzalez, and Ildemar Vargas was playing left field, the Sox took advantage of that. And then Toronto. I did like seeing Schneider lead off, but again, not an outfielder. Versho, he's supposed to be in the middle lineup, not 2, and he's not a center fielder. And then Bo Bichette, putting him on an island, making him a 4th through 6th hitter when that's why you got Vladimir Guerrero and George Springer and Justin Turner. Again, Biggio's not an outfielder. Springer, glad he's in right field, not center field, but he's not a leadoff hitter. Like, Ernie Clement and IKF, you got them as backups. Most teams would even have Ernie Clement. He'd be cut because they got IKF. If you throw utility guys in the outfield, I'm less upset. Why don't you just play Biggio and Schneider in the infield like they're supposed to be? Okay, and then we got Minnesota. Jeffers and Correa 1 and 2, and Larnach 2. Again, Jeffers, Correa, and Larnach are offensive power guys. Like, they should be middle lineup. Willie Castro, again, not a middle lineup hitter. And he had a terrible series against the Yankees, making God knows how many bad plays in the outfield. Just get it through your head, Twins. He's not an outfielder. Margot, again, he's a good offensive player, but he's not a middle lineup hitter. And Kirilloff, I don't understand the whole outfield thing when they were making a big deal that he's going to play first base or DH. And then Julian leading off makes sense. Orioles, Gunnar and Adley 1 and 2. Again, I think they'd be much better served towards the middle of the lineup. And then again, the whole infield alignment with Gunnar as shortstop. But he did bat cleanup once this week. O'Hearn twice played the outfield. Okay, what are you doing? Okay, Mateo at least has some career innings in the outfield when he was on Oakland previous to coming to Baltimore. But again, if he's not going to get an everyday chance to play in the infield, just make him your backup infielder. And Westburg leading off one day, I thought that was pretty cool. But again, you have so many outfielders between Hayes, Mullins, Santander, the cow guy, and the other Cressberg, whatever his name is, the other guy they called up. Why is Orange just playing? If you're just not going to DH O'Hearn that day, just give him the day off. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, Arizona, the Marte Carroll, they went back to that the last couple of weeks. Perfect. Randall Richard batting second? Not really. He's a middle lineup hitter. And Pavin Smith is a good offensive player, but he's not an outfielder, so stop playing the outfield as a first baseman. Yankees, Volpe leading off is fine. But again, Soto's perfect three-hitter. Judge batting cleanup would be amazing. Birdie's a utility guy, so I don't want him fifth. And Judge in center and Soto in right field, that whole entire thing is just out of whack. And then Luke Weaver, if there's injuries to the rotation, he should start. If not, it's fine. Tampa Bay, the whole Yandy Diaz and Randy Arozarena 1 and 2 is like, what are you doing? At least Randy one day went back to batting third. Because I don't want to rely on Harold Ramirez, a backup outfielder, to be 4 through 6 in the lineup in DH. And Rosario's a good offensive player, but I also don't want to rely on him in the 3 through 6 spot. But at least he's played a lot of infield. And the whole Palacio, one day he's in the infield, one day he's in the outfield. Like, what are you doing? And then Aranda is not a first baseman, and he's not a middle lineup hitter. That's your problem here with what you're doing. Cubs. Nico and Talkman 1 and 2, I like that. But again, Morel's not a 3 through 4 hitter in my opinion. He's a good offensive player, but he's not a middle of the lineup power hitter. Bush is not a first baseman. Madrigal's not a third baseman. Suzuki, he's okay second, but I'd rather him fifth or sixth. And they took Nico out of the leadoff spot and put him sixth. I don't know what you're doing. And then Patrick Wisdom is a power hitter, not a leadoff hitter, and he's not a third baseman. And Mastrobuoni's a utility guy. Why is he batting so high at 6? Pirates, McCutcheon leading off is stupid. You got him to be in the middle lineup. Reynolds perfect in the 2 spot. I don't understand the whole right field when Sawinski has more career innings in right field, and just keep Reynolds in left field if you're going to play Michael A. Taylor every day in center field. Gonzalez is a young player, so I wouldn't put all the pressure in batting 5th or 6th. And Olivieris is a backup outfielder, not a cleanup hitter. And then Connor Joe, I liked when he bats in the middle lineup because that's what they want is offensive power. And he's a first baseman, but he's not an outfielder or a leadoff hitter. Detroit, the Abanis, Vierling, Riley, at the top of the lineup are Riley Green. Those make sense. But again, I don't want Riley Green cleanup. That's why you got Canna and Spencer Torkelson. Okay? And Vierling, I like that he's playing some more outfield because, again, he's not a third baseman. Canna, stop batting him second. He's supposed to be in the middle lineup. And again, Riley Green should stick to being at the top. Perez is a rookie, so I don't think he should be batting third. He's not a slugger. And again, Kerry Carpenter's a bad outfielder. Stop playing him in the outfield. And McKinstry's an infielder. Why is he in the outfield? Houston, Altuve, I'm okay with him leading off if the number 2 hitter makes sense. But they've had Bregman, Alvarez, and now Tucker. Like, that's your 3 through 5. Like, what are you doing? Because then Pena's batting cleanup, and he's not a cleanup hitter, but I did like that he batted second a few times. Dubone, again, I know you want to get him in the lineup because he's a useful player, but he's not a first baseman and he's not an outfielder. But leading off is fine. Unless I meant to say playing first base, and that's a no. And then, did I write that Kyle Tucker was first? I don't know what I wrote there. But then Trey Cabbage playing the outfield when he's an infielder again. Silly. White Sox. I'm going to say this again. Andrew Vaughn and Gavin Sheets, they're likable guys, but they're slow. They're not 2-hitters. They need to be surrounding Aloy in the lineup potentially, even if they're stinking up, especially Vaughn for the start of the season. You just want them in the 3 through 6 spots and just leave him alone. Benny batting 5th is a little bit weird. I'd probably want to put him in the 2 spot if Tommy Pham's going to lead off. That's totally fine. And Cleveland, again, I know you want David Fry's bat in the lineup, but he's not a leadoff hitter. He's not a 2-hitter. He's not an outfielder. Either catch him, DH him, or play him at first base. Freeman's an infielder. Stop playing him in center field. And at least Florial's got some starts in the outfield and batting leadoff because that's what he is, an outfielder. Okay? Thanks again for listening to another edition of MLB Observations Week 7 of the 2024 season. For On the Red Blog, I'm Radar. See you guys next time.